Hey beautiful people, welcome back to Sharon's Nail Boutique. This is not a before and after because I forgot to take the before picture, guys. Oh my god, I will be okay. This is the glitter I'm using, Heart of the Sea and Brazilian Opal. Those are the colors I'm using. 3 of them are my own homemade. I'm using 3 different colors of crushed shell, netting, some material that I buy from Joann Fabrics, my Mia Secret monomer, my Mia Secret clear acrylic polymer, my extra fine blue holographic glitter, Love Me, Plum, Love Me by Glam and Glitz, Plum by Mia Secret, Banana by Mia Secret, Selfie by Mia Secret, Blue Lovers, Blue Lover by Mia Secret. I'm also using mine, which is Peacock Flare, Aquamarine Me, and Minty Apple. I'm using my OPI Bond-Aid, my No Lift Nails Acid Base Primer. I'm using Glam and Glitz On Your Mark, Glam and Glitz Boardwalk, Glam and Glitz Lighthouse, and there might be a couple, Mia Secret Aladdin Turquoise, Mia Secret Let's Party, a lot of the Blue Lovers collection, and as you can see I have a palette here with some rose American Fantasy shards and green apple fantasy shards, and I put them in a palette so that I can pick them up and use them sparingly. I also have Mia Secret's Glow Papaya that I'm using to fill in those mermaid scales when I use the netting and put the impression in the acrylic. So I'm actually doing that on this pinky nail as well. So I go in first with, I believe this is either Aladdin Turquoise or one of the Blue Lovers collection, but that green one that you see there, that's actually from the Blue Lovers collection as well, and it's called Selfie. I really like that color a lot. But that color is actually Love Me. The one I go in with next is Love Me by Glam and Glitz. And then I go in with one of mine, and then I go in with this one, which is from the Blue Lovers collection, and I believe, and it has sparkle in it. I forgot exactly what the name of it is, but I show it right in the beginning. So if you want to kind of rewind back to that and just pause it so you can see exactly what I used, then that would be fine. This one up at the top cuticle area, that is the plum one that I use, and then after I am happy with like the color blending and stuff like that, I will use my netting and I will pull it down into the nail so I can make those netting impressions. So because after you pull it out, it actually looks like mermaid scales. So when I'm happy with it, I will pull it out and then I will fill it in with my Mia Secret Papaya Glow color, which is super dope, really pretty. This is yellow netting. I literally have it in any color you could possibly imagine. Like yellow, green, purples, blacks, nude. And you see those lines? How it like made like scale impressions. Now I'm going to take my glow, my Papaya Glow by Mia Secret, and I'm going to pick it up really wet. And I'm just going to fill that in. And this effect is just super, super pretty. And I actually, what I do is I fill it in. And when I'm happy, I'll, go to the next nail that I start and I'll let that dry. And before I cap it, I'll actually file it down to where it's just showing the filled in scales. Because you have to, file off the color that it covers over, so you could get just those lined impressions. So when I'm happy with that, I'll move on to the next nail. And I believe I actually go from the pinky over to the middle finger because I end up doing like a 4-color ombre. I thought I did anyways. I might be going in with like a marble on this one. I do the marble on the ring finger. So what I did was I just moved to the middle finger and I start off with using Banana by Mia Secret. And I believe that that's from their fruity collection. Not sure exactly because at my nail supply they sell them singly for like $3.50. So there's times where I won't even get like the whole collection. I'll just buy like single colors. So this one is banana, and I really like, at first I wasn't happy with how it was starting to look. I felt like maybe I did too much, but then in the end it all came together because I figured it out. It all came together in the end. So I go in with banana, then I go in with Aladdin either Aladdin turquoise, yeah, I believe it's Aladdin turquoise, or selfie. Or no, not selfie. Let's party. I believe that's the one there. And I actually remember how I was telling you guys yesterday, like, I'm a master of like taking oddball colors and ombreing them together. Like, this is a good example of that. So, sky's the limit, ladies. You can use whatever colors you desire. And this is another freestyle set. So, my friend, she typically likes plain sets, but she came in and she's like, you know what? Just do you. I want some purple in there. As long as I got some purple in there, I'm good. So do whatever your little heart desires or your big heart desires. And, you know, anybody that knows me, when you tell me I could freestyle, oh, I go all in. I go for it. You know, I'm not one of them people that's like, oh, you know, I don't really want to use too many things. Like, I have so much stuff, so many colors and stuff like that, that I want to use the stuff that I have. I don't want it to go to waste. So if I have someone that comes in and is like, you know what, just go for it. I'm usually spending a certain amount anyways. And at my salon that I run, because I work from home, I charge what I feel like charging. I make my own prices. So I do actual flat rates. So if you come and get a $60 set with me, this is everything you're getting, all for $60. Whatever colors you want, glow, mood changing, whatever. The only thing I add extra on for is like stones and pixie crystals. Or if you need to have your total set removed and redone. Because I don't do fills, I just do redesigns. So that's why I always place a thin, clear acrylic base before I go in with my design. Because when I do the redesign on the next set, I come back down to that thin clear base and I do my redesign. So now I literally have been capping as I've been going lately, and so that's what you see me doing here. I'm capping over the shell that I used. I used a little bit of the shell on the side there of the nail, in the orange there, the blue and the purple, and I added just a couple little glitters kind of next to it, just to keep with that mermaid vibe, that whole theme going. I add a little bit more up at the top just to make sure that my glitter and everything is covered. And there's gonna be times where like you file through your glitter by accident. I've done it many, many times. So do not be discouraged if that happens. One of the ways you could tell if your glitter is fully covered is it'll look completely matte in appearance. It will not be shiny anymore. It'll just look like you took a matte top coat and just brushed over that shit. So then literally we'll be going in with our marble next on the ring finger, and I am actually using Glam and Glitz On Your Mark, and I picked up Mia Secret's Aladdin turquoise, I believe, with this one. And then I think I go in with I don't remember exactly, hang on. I think I end up picking up, yeah, see, I end up picking up Selfie and Banana. And then I'll swirl, like I'll try to make sure that those are swirled to both sides, fitting over the whole of that nail entirety. Just trying to make sure that they're not like all just pushed together looking like brown and nasty looking. You want to make sure that there's a clear definition in your swirled marble colors. You don't want them to just all mixed together and then you have no marble, you know what I mean? So now I'm doing Papaya Glow with On Your Mark. I really like how that looked together, so that's what I chose. And I think, you know, like the key with marble is just to make sure that you're working as wet as you possibly can, and you're not over swirling and you're not over dragging. You know, when it's like completely polymerized and you feel like it's completely polymerized, you can, you know, then go in and kind of like try to flatten it down a little bit And see, like now I'm going in with my lighthouse and banana. And yeah, I think I was happy with the way it looked, and I then went in with a little bit of glitter up that side area. I added some of the Brazilian opal glitter mix to it, but I didn't end up like keeping the butterflies on there because I felt like this was a mermaid rainbow kind of a set, and I felt like the butterflies didn't go with the mermaid theme, so I ended up taking those off. And that's like, you know, one of the things that I mean. There's going to be times where like you don't like something and you end up looking at it and you're like, you know what, I'm going to take that off. And that's exactly what happened to me with this. I'm like, you know what, that glitter looks really good by itself. I'm just going to, you know, add a little bit of the mermaid glitter mix that I had there by Lolo Rose, and then I will cap that. So when I'm happy with the glitter placement, I grab my medium wet bead and I will start off at that cuticle, placing it, making sure that it's, you know, sitting how it should be and it's tucked and kind of thin in the right areas. And, you know, once you get the hang of that, I think it's pretty much a breeze after that. And it's still going to take like time to learn these things and get them down packed, but like when I first started doing nails, I jumped right in with both feet. I started off right away like working with colored acrylic and glitters and encapsulating and all that. And I think because I threw myself into it so quickly, I just kind of took, and that's how I am really as a person in just everyday life. I take on so much, I start so many different projects, and a lot of times I wasn't able to finish them, especially when I was younger, because I just got distracted so easily. I had tons of thoughts running through my mind at any given moment, and it was just hard to concentrate on one thing. Even growing up, I was always in certain classes because even though I was super intelligent, my ADHD and ADD prevented me from being able to focus on one thing. If I didn't have total silence in the classroom, my brain would just scatter. You know, and I feel like that interfered with a lot of my life's goals and activities that I wanted to pursue. But once I got a little older and I started focusing on certain things that I was passionate about, I feel like that's when things started to get better for me. And it's always people, places, things. You have to be careful who you spend your time with. Make sure they're like-minded like you. They have similar goals and things that they aspire to. You know, you want to be around people that motivate you and encourage you, not people that tear you down and don't like to see you doing good. So that being said, on this finger, I actually did a 3-tone ombre, and I really she loved how it came out. I actually did the clear mermaid scales on this nail. So I started off with Lighthouse at that free edge. Then I went in with Love Me by Glam and Glitz, their diamond collection. And then I went in with On Your Mark by Glam and Glitz naked acrylic collection. So I put in my netting, I pull it down, and then I actually go in with my encapsulation beads. But my first beads are super wet so that I make sure they get into all those cracks and crevices. So I put that up at the cuticle, and once I'm happy with the placement, you'll see me pull down the side. Now, once I've done that, I do another wet bead at the free edge. I'm making sure that it's seeping into all of those areas where I pulled the netting down into. That is the most important. So once you've got that, if you're doing clear, you can go right in with your encapsulation bead. As, you know, as long as you're not using another color to fill it in, you're fine. Like I did on the pinky nail, I did that with the Papaya Glow, so I'll go back and file that all down and then encapsulate it. You see, I'm just adding, you know, a little more, making sure that that nail is capped the way I need it to be. And even if you don't do like a color in the scales, it still looks super dope, super pretty. And you'll see in the end in the picture. And I do on the thumbnail, I use, this is Selfie by Blue Lovers Collection, Me a Secret, and I do a glitter fade on this nail. So I use Selfie, and then I go in with Lola Rose's Mermaid glitter mix up at that top area. And I actually think I use a little bit of Brazilian opal in there too, just to give it a little more kind of dimension with the extra fine glitter in there. And just making sure that this area here is nice and thin at that free edge area, and so you're not going to have that harsh line or step when you put the glitter down. So you see I'm going in with that Mermaid glitter mix made by Lola Rose. And she doesn't do stuff on here anymore. She's on Facebook, but she actually used to be a really good friend of mine. I haven't talked to her in a long time, ever since she started her business there on Facebook. But I just feel like with certain people, like, they forget you. And it's one of the things that like really makes me sad, because when she was going through everything she was going through, I was like one of the only people that was there for her and encouraging her and giving her ideas as to what to do for like business stuff with the glitter, and it took off. So it's like, it almost feels like she forgot about me, you know, which I guess is okay. I mean, you know, it still hurts, but it is what it is, you know. But anyways, moving forward, I'm gonna go in and cap this nail, and I start off almost at the cuticle area, but I'm doing this because I want to make sure, absolutely 100% make sure that that is covered, the glitter. So then I'll go in with my cuticle bead, and I want to make sure that this nail is facing downward. That's the reason you saw me just kind of put her nail on a downward angle. And now you see how I have it like sitting downward like that, so the acrylic will come downward and do its job. Come down the nail the way it should. You don't want all that acrylic going into the cuticle. That's a no-no. That would be no bueno. And you see me add a little more to the free edge because it just wasn't even enough. It didn't have enough product down there at the bottom. And for me, I'm always looking down like the barrel of the nail, checking the sides, checking to make sure that my shape is correct and my strength point is built up, and I'm not going to have any issues with my glitter being filed off. You know, I'm checking all of these avenues to make sure. And I'm just letting my client know that once I file that off, then I'll encapsulate it. I think I move on to the next hand. Yeah, so at this point, I start with the next hand, and I actually go in with a glass tip on this pinky. But I start off with my plum color at the cuticle, and then I actually go in with, I think, Love Me or Aladdin's turquoise by Me a Secret. Okay, so I go in with Glam & Glitz Love Me, and then I kind of go in on that diagonal and kind of spread it underneath where the plum is. And then I'll go in actually with some glitter, and I think I use a little bit more. I think I went in with a little bit of my acrylic just to kind of make it a little darker and kind of bring a little bit more of those blues into it. And now I come in with Brazilian Opal, and this was made by Flower Nails, Eunice. Hey girl, if you're watching this, I love this mix. Probably not watching this, but if you are, I love this mix. I've had it forever, and this is one of my first times, I think, using it in an actual set. So when I'm happy with like the shards and everything that I place here, because I'm using some of the shell and some of the shards there, I'll cap it. I leave the bottom free edge clear because, like I said, it's a glass tip. And I actually just really love how it came out. I used some of the green apple shards and those rosy shards there in the American Fantasy colors. And now that I'm happy with the glitter placement, I'm looking at it, I'm showing her, I will cap it. And I'm making sure that my bead is like medium to large size, that it's wet enough so where it's gonna, you know, come down the nail where I need it to. You see what I mean? And I'm just making sure that, you know, that it's even, that it's spread evenly through the nail, that one side's not bigger than the other. That's why you always want to be checking your angles, and that's why you always see me checking my angles. However, sometimes it could be a pain in the fucking ass, excuse my language. Yes, acrylic nails, those darn acrylic nails, they could be such a freaking pain in the freaking ass. I think I add one more bead up at that cuticle area, yes. So I'm building up my apex and my strength area at this point. So you could literally see me like cleaning up those sidewall areas, making sure that everything is as it should be. And when I come into file, obviously with my electric file, everything will be shaped even better. But you want to try to do as much as you can with your brush. I mean, that's the whole point. You don't want to have to do too much filing. So, I think I'm doing... So you know how I did the glitter fade? Okay, no. I'm doing the 3-tone ombre, I believe, on the middle finger now. And I'm using Lighthouse, so I start off with that at the free edge and I blend back so there's not a harsh line. And then I'll come in with Love Me, I believe. Yes, Love Me. I'm just cleaning out my brush. No, I'm sorry, I lied. I'm coming in with my Minty Apple. And then I come in with Boardwalk up at the top. So I did change it up a little bit. But this is like more of like a unicorny ombre on this hand. I love these colors together. They're not pastel either. They kind of look like it, but they're not. Boardwalk is just from their regular color acrylic collection. And I add another cuticle bead there because there just wasn't enough. It wasn't blended enough and it wasn't opaque enough. I end up adding a little more of my Minty Apple. That's such a beautiful color. And then I'll probably add a little more of the Lighthouse as well. Yep. Not a lot, just a little. I think I wasted more than anything, but when I'm happy with the colored blend, I think I don't know if I add any glitter or anything to this. I think I might just... So I actually go in with netting again, and I'll go in with my Papaya Glow on this nail. I'll fill in those gaps with the Papaya Glow. And I think I actually do the 3-tone ombre on either... Yeah, I do it on the ring on this side, on the ring finger. And then on the pointer on this side, I do the green with the glitter fade, the Mermaid glitter mix fade. And then on the thumb, I don't really remember what I did on the thumb exactly. So the ring finger is gonna be the scales with the clear. And the thumb on this hand is gonna be the material that you saw me pull out in the beginning. The mermaid material, not the netting, the other piece of fabric that I had. I've been using fabric and netting and all of that stuff for so long now. If you go back in my videos like to years ago, you could see me using this stuff. I didn't see a lot of people doing it like when I first started doing it, but I'm like, you know what? I do encapsulated nails. So at the end of the day, I can literally encapsulate just about anything. And this is that material that I'm talking about. So I went out and I bought these in so many different colors, so many different types of materials. And I've been doing this for so long. And and I'm not saying that I started the idea, but I promise you, I've been on here since 2014, 2015. And I was never seeing people use stuff like this. Once I started putting videos up of stuff like this, then I started seeing it everywhere. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but that's what it seems like. I never saw anybody using materials like this, and now I'm seeing it all over the place. So I don't know if I inspired people with this look or not, but I mean, I've been doing it for a super long time, and I've been doing it since before it was even popular. So I love stuff like this. I love encapsulating lace and materials. You could actually go back into my videos. I did a full set of blue lace nails, and they came out amazing. And you know, my client had never saw anything like that before in her life. So if you go back and you take a look at that, it's actually really, really pretty. So with this set, with this nail in particular, I wanted to imitate like a tidal wave. So that's why you see me kind of like very purposely making a particular shape with this blue extra fine holographic glitter. I wanted to make like a tidal wave, and now in hindsight, I figured out, obviously, I probably should have placed my coloring down first, because at first I was gonna do like this wave and then encapsulate it and just leave it like clear in the background, and then put like a little bit of these fancy mermaid glitters underneath it, right? And then leave my material. But then I decided, you know what? Let me go in with like some blue colors in the background to make it look like a full like ocean theme going on. You know what I mean? Adding just a little bit of those glitters underneath that tidal wave, and then I decide to go in with those blue shades all in the background of the tidal wave. So in the end, it didn't come out perfectly the way I wanted it, because it ended up kind of covering over some of the glitter, and I had to re-go in and, you know, place that glitter. But it's okay. It came out really, really pretty in the end. I use my Minty Apple. I go in with my Aquamarine Me Lighthouse from Glam and Glitz. You see how I like covered up over that wave by accident. And I'll fix it as I go. But yeah, so that's what I was talking about with that. So I just go in with the different shades and stuff in the background. This one was my it's like a blue hue. It's like a denim color. And I go in with Love Me from Glam and Glitz. And that's from their Diamond collection. I just clean up those edges and stuff. And I add a little more, I think that's my denim color, to that wave area, because I didn't want like any parts to like be see-through or anything like that. So I'm just making sure that that's nice and neat, and you can still see like the wave and everything like that. So I add a little bit more glitter just so it, you know, stands out more. And when I'm happy, I think I cap. Yeah, see, so I'm not happy now. And when you place this material on your nail, like I use glue to glue mine down, but when you're placing these materials, you want to make sure that on the sides of your tips, there's tip exposed. You don't want to put the material all the way to both sides. Unless you're actually using like netting or lace, where that you can do something like that, because there's so many holes in the material that the acrylic is going to come through it and grip the nail anyways. With materials like these and angel paper, you have to leave some of those tip sides exposed, because if you don't, the whole entirety of the nail will just pop off, because it has nothing that it's holding on to. You see what I'm saying? It's not gripping the tip. It's not attached to the tip anymore. It's just attached to those materials. So if they're not capped properly, and if the clear acrylic is not touching the sides of that tip, it's gonna just come right off, pop right off. So when I'm happy, see how my glitter now looks like all matte? That means it's covered properly. You know, check from the side view, check from down the barrel, and then you check from the other side. Once you're happy with the shape, you can move on to your next nail. And like I said, on this ring finger here, I'm going in, or the pointer. See how I switch it up all the time? I'm doing that green glitter fade on the pointer on this one instead of the thumb. So I really love this green. My client loved this color so much. It's like one of those colors you can't exactly put your finger on the exact color, but it's so pretty that, and it was in the Blue Lovers collection, even though it's like mostly green. It has shimmer in it too. That's what I love about the Blue Lovers collection. Most of the colors in there are like shimmery, have some glitters in it. And now I'll go in with that Mermaid, the Mermaid glitter mix there. I'm just making sure that I spread it out evenly, because there's just so many chunky pieces in this. You don't want to grab like too much acrylic, because then you won't be able to like spread it out right. It'll be too much acrylic versus glitter, and you'll have all these empty spots. So I'm just grabbing pieces now to place them like where it's empty. Since I already have the acrylic there, all I have to do is like stick the glitter to the wet acrylic, and when I'm happy, I'll cap it, and that's what I'm doing now. So as you can see, once the acrylic fully comes over that glitter, you see how it looks not shiny anymore? That's a good thing. That means it's covered properly. And I do believe I go in with another bead up at that cuticle area just to make sure that it is fully encapsulated. Because nothing worse than like coming back to file and you file like right through your glitters. I hate that. And I think that actually happened to me on this nail by accident. It was just one small spot, but I was actually able to go in and fix it completely. So this is our last nail now to do the design on. And I believe that this is the 3-tone ombre, and we are going to be doing the clear scales on this one. So I'm going in with Lighthouse first. And this is a tricky color, guys, because you end up seeing a lot of the pigment pieces in there. And it is mixed with white, so it can marble at times. So you just have to really keep your brush damp and just be quick when you're pulling out the pieces. The good thing about Glam and Glitz is they're a wet system, so they don't dry too fast unless you drain a lot of the liquid out of your bead. So you just want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on those like pigment pieces in there, because you don't want like a bunch of that showing. It's not attractive. It's an eyesore. So you just want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on stuff like that. So then I go in with Glam and Glitz Love Me, and I love this color because it's such a dark bluish teal, and it's got like that metallic-y shimmer in it. So I do that one, and then I'll actually go in, I believe, with On Your Mark. Yes, I do. And I push that up as close as I can get without touching the skin. And then I pull down my sidewalls, and then I'll pull down the center of the bead. So you want your sidewalls to be thin and tapered. They shouldn't be big and blocky like Minecraft nails. Oh goodness, you ever see duck flare tips? So unattractive. I don't know why girls thought that duck tips were nice looking. I'm not sure why it even became a thing. I think people still use them, but not my cup of tea, let me just say. So I just finished this ombre. When I'm happy with that, I will pull down my netting into it and then start filling it in with my clear acrylic. So I think I've pretty much explained everything I've been doing. I mean, the only other things that I do is I file down the scales with just the glow in it, not the ones with the clear. And I file, shape, buff, and top coat. That's about it, guys. I don't think I left in the ending part, but I did leave pictures so you guys can see how it looks in the end, because that's the best part after it's clear coated and everything. So I guess I'll leave you guys to it. I'm sorry that I forgot to take a before and after shot because it's been going so well. Yesterday we were actually supposed to start our first nail files vlog. That is going to take some time because I'm going to be working on that, possibly working on some skits with it and stuff like that, because the whole point of nail files is to be a no holds bar, candid experience. And because me and my clients talk all the time, like the whole time, it actually, because of how much me and my clients talk and how friendly we are, I pick and choose my clients. I don't do nails for people that I wouldn't be friends with outside of it. And that's how I run my business. You guys can run your business however you want, but I wouldn't do nails for someone that I wouldn't personally be friends with. It's just not the type of I don't have to do this. I don't do it for the money, clearly. And I don't do it because I have to. I do it because I have a passion for doing nails and I love doing nails. As you see me here doing the scales, I am just removing. Now you see how those scales are starting to show through now? I had my door open, so please excuse the fly in the background. So I remove like the color from covering like the ombre part, and I only show the color that's in the scaled impression. So once I've filed down enough, I will clean that off and then I'll go in and encapsulate it. So now that the scales are actually showing through and all the extra colors removed, you see that? And that's going to glow at night. And the only part that's going to glow is the scaled impressions. Excuse me. So now I encapsulate it using my Mia Secret Clear. And that's pretty much it, guys. Self-explanatory. I will see you guys all in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you're new here and have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for, people? Just hit that subscribe button and like button, and don't forget to share if you feel like it. And I will see you all in my next video. Hashtag before and after, hashtag Sharon's Nail Boutique. Bye, guys. I love you all so much. Bye.